You are live. Hello, baby. Did you miss me? Hello, everyone. How's everyone going? Chris says first. Hello, everyone. Oh, no! Oh, hang on. How's everyone going? Chris says first. Rookie mistake. Keep forgetting to mute that. So, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. Mainly because not many interesting topics that I can cover. I don't have the connections or knowledge that other people do. Say, like for what's his name? Future Boy Kamikaze. He does one every day. He does everything. Especially when it comes to Mortal Kombat. But what these streams are made for me to do is to get my ideas across. In terms of the new movies. So, people expect me to talk about the anime and that. It's like, for me, anime is good to watch, but the live action, it's live action. So I feel more connected to that. And, I want to see it do well, and I want it to expand on its universe. So that's what these streams are for, to be honest. So that's why today I thought, I'll put forward my sequel cast ideas, but it's only for some. It's not for all. It's just for some. Let's get some wake up juice. So that's what I'm doing today. It's going to be a very small fan cast of mine for some of the characters that I want to see in the sequel, or sequels, because some of them I've got in there as kind of like mainstays. So, what I'll do is give out my cast list. I've got some pictures up as well that I'll share, and we'll talk through them. And then at the end, it depends how many people are here. They can put forward their own. Who they would like for each character that I'll pull up. So I'll wait for a few more minutes and then I'll get into it. But after the cast list, people are talking about what's next for the Mortal Kombat sequel. What will be the sequel? People want the tournament. I want the tournament, but, big but, they're trying to expand on this universe. So I've got a different idea. So I'll get to that last. And then we can talk about, your ideas for a sequel. What would you want to see in the sequel? So we'll see. Give it another minute, and then I'll crack on. But yeah, we'll get into my cast list. And then after that, we'll see about my plan that I would have for sequels. So, okay, I'm knackered. Right, I'm going to get into the first one. So we'll get into the first person. So, everyone's favourite that was missed in the first one, Johnny Cage. So everyone, as far as I know, everyone wanted this guy. I wanted this guy many, many years ago. I feel like he's got the look. He's definitely got the moves. He can act when it comes to being serious. And I just want to see him be really cocky. I need to see cockiness from him. And then that will just be complete then. It'll be complete. So he's definitely got the moves, definitely got the looks. You could say about the age that you want him to be, So even though he's older than the character, he definitely looks younger. So they could do their magic with the hair and makeup and things like that. But he's definitely my top guy to play as Johnny Cage, Alain Mousy. So yeah, he's definitely definitely my first pick. And when it comes to doing the ball punch, I mean, he's halfway there, isn't he? He's halfway there. All he's got to do is stick that fist out. Boom! Straight in the baby makers. So yeah, what kind of sealed it for me was watching him in the remake of Kickboxer. So it's Kickboxer Vengeance, and watching him do some of the moves in that, and I was like, yeah, he could definitely play the Johnny Cage role. So I was like, but what's his acting like? So watching all of the films and all of his interactions and everything else, and he's definitely there's something there. He could definitely do it. He could do the serious bits, but I was waiting for all the cocky bits, and there's some cocky bits in not just this film, not just in Kickboxing Vengeance, but the second one, I forgot what it's called. Retaliation. That's it. Kickboxing Retaliation. So he can pull off the Johnny Cage role pretty well. He's definitely known for doing his splits. He loves doing his splits. But can he do the splits and the punch? And then say, you got caged. So I'm waiting for that one. So there we go. And everyone knows that knows me on my Twitter, I put this together. So that was more fan poster for just before the Mortal Kombat movie actually got released. So I'll put this together. Alan Mousey liked it. He shared it around. So it got a few shares, got a few likes. So yeah, it's pretty good. So there we go. Johnny Cage as played by Alan Mousey. Personally, I don't see anyone close. People keep saying The Miz. I don't really want The Miz because he'll just be playing The Miz. It'd be like Johnny Cage playing The Miz, Miz playing Johnny Cage. It's the same character as in WWE. But I don't think he has the martial arts skills, personally. He hasn't put out anything, personally, that I could see that could, have him in the role. In terms of his martial arts skills. Obviously, he knows how to kick, he knows how to punch, but can he do what we expect Johnny Cage to do? Can he do it? He can't hide behind, a CGI face or, a stunt double. He's pretty recognisable, so he can't get away with it. Whereas Alan Mousey can do all his own stunts. He can do all the flips and the tricks, and it's him. He's got that certain style. Just like Skykins, the way he kicks, the way he moves, it's him. It's just the style, the way they move. It's like, it's that person. And Alan Mousey, it's going to be him. As for The Miz, he's going to be moving around, but then, say, a stunt double comes in to do a kick or a flip, and you're going to tell it's not him. So that's my pick, my first and only choice to play as Johnny Cage. I mean, I'm sorry, Skykins, Sorry, I'm a massive fan, but I'm lucky. I'm just looking at this. In terms of film wise, you could probably play something else, but at the moment, I've got Alan Mousey as Johnny Cage. I might have a role for you. I haven't got in this, but I might say it now. So, if you want to elevate a character that's quite low in the tier, and you want to bring them up and make people say, "Yeah, I could." You've elevated the character from a jobber. So, if you want to say, have a striker be elevated, I reckon Skykins could play that role. So, everyone likes the way Skykins moves, his acting, his martial arts, definitely. You want to elevate a Mortal Kombat character, have him play striker. So I'm going to put that out there. Have him play striker, and you can have him and Johnny Cage, Alan Mousey, play off each other. Johnny Cage being the cocky and you know, striker be, what the hell are you talking about? You know, the serious one. They could play off each other quite well. So that's how I see the striker role. So I'd give the striker role to, pardon me, God, drink. Yeah, Scott Atkins plays striker role if you want to elevate striker. But Johnny Cage is a mainstay. So I'd have Alan Mousey there. Because he could literally do anything. You don't need to bring in any stunt doubles for anything harsh, you know. You'd have to bring in someone, you know, that could take harsh bumps. So when it comes to actually doing the flips and the tricks, jumping off walls, backflips, you've already got everything there in Alan Mousey. So there we go. The next one. I think some people are going to like this one. Tiger Shroff as Rain. Another mainstay. This would be another mainstay or someone that comes in and out. So if you want him later on in other sequels to play a bigger role, Tiger Shroff as Rain. So again, this is the Indian superstar. And he can, again, do all his own martial arts, all his flips and tricks. You know, you want to bring in you definitely want to bring in another big market in India. And what better way to bring in a massive, huge, humongous fan base than to bring in Tiger Shroff. Tiger Shroff would bring in that. And, you know, if you don't do him dirty, you know, don't do Rain dirty, have him show off and everything else, and you've got a ready-made fan base to bring in to the Mortal Kombat universe. And if you make him a mainstay, then you've got fan bases for life in India. So there you go. And he's, you know, he seems to put on muscle when, you know, at the blink of an eye. You know, he can do it. He's a you know, a young guy again. You know, he can do all these flips and tricks. And we just want to see him, you know, we want to see Rain be played by someone that's got a bit of oomph behind him. And, you know, again, it's elevating the character. And if you have someone like Tiger Shroff there, with the whole of the Indian fan base behind him, they're going to get behind the character. So it's going to force the character to be elevated that way as well. So again, you know, Tiger Shroff is big. I've not seen any of his films in full, right? But I've seen plenty of clips of his films, some of his acting skills, even ones where he's gone to MMA events and everything else. So he's loved in India, like, you know, from top to bottom. So, and of course, you see this, he was tipped to play the new Rambo, the Indian Rambo. And it's just such a shame that it didn't take off. And I want to know the real reason why, because I think this would have been such a massive role. I mean, we saw this was the first image that was released. And it was more of like a concept. And even Sly Stallone himself says, I want to see this. Yep, go for it. You know, he says, yeah, go on, make your own versions. And he just didn't kick off. For some reason, it just didn't kick off. But it could have been his big break into like the American market in terms of, you know, it's Rambo, it's an American property. So it could have been seen by, you know, Western people to say, oh, Rambo film, another Rambo film, let's see this. So again, bringing him into the Mortal Kombat universe as a popular character can not only just raise the character, but raise himself in terms of the Western markets, and bring him into the Hollywood mainstream. Because as far as I know, he seems a great guy, you know, and he's willing to put the work in. So give him the Rain role, have him a mainstay, have him come in and out now and again, say in the next film. So you're teasing him ready for the next one. So say third or fourth. And people will be anticipating, wanting to see him. So I feel that Tiger Shroff should play as Rain. So it'd be nice to see how you guys think about that one. So again, here we go. Just imagine him you know, floating in the rain, in the sky, like this, in the rain outfit. So there we go, Tiger Shroff as Rain. So let's move on to the next one. Let's see how many people like this one. So, yeah, Mark Dacascos as Quan Chi. Now, I was thinking, you want Quan Chi to, again, he's going to be another mainstay, and you want to make the character, you want to gravitate towards the character straight away. You know, you want to recognize the character straight away. And people really like Mark Dacascos. He's been around for many years. He's doing his martial arts and everything else. And he's really come alive recently with the John Wick film, John Wick 3. And, you know, he's come across with the bald head and everything else. And it's like you need someone like a Mark Dacascos to bring the Quan Chi character to life. And as Chris Germans just says, Mark Dacascos, why not? And MK Legend, thanks for coming in. He says, was it Adoni Makopis? He was the one from the series. But again, they don't want to tie to the series. They want to do their own story. They want to make it their own. So that's why they're bringing in new people to do these characters. They want to make it their own. And I can see why. I mean, they want to carry on doing it. And when it comes to, again, doing your own kicks and things, in the series, you can clearly see it's not Adoni doing the martial arts. It's some shorter, dumpy guy. You can see it's not him. And me spotting these things, it didn't really put me out because I was still seeing Quan Chi. But as watching the character and who he is, who's playing him, it did take me out a bit. So you want people that you know is going to do their own stuff, and it's believable. So I know people say it's best choice to play Quan Chi because we all have that fondness for the series. But the series is literally linked to the original two films. It's a prequel to the two original movies. So I don't think they're going to want to have any links to those movies, apart from when it comes to, you know, callbacks or, you know, things to like look and go, oh, that's from the original film. You know, things like that. They're not going to want any ties whatsoever. But Mark Dacascos is a very recognisable guy. And when you see, if you ever see him step onto camera as Quan Chi, you're going to go, oh, it's him. You know, you're going to go, oh, it's Mark Dacascos as Quan Chi. You know, it's instantly recognisable, and you know he could play the bad guy very well. And as we saw in John Wick, in the third John Wick film, you know, he's got that certain cockiness about him. He could turn it on and off, so he could play the serious, and then you could see him jump into being quite sarcastic and funny, like when they go into the Continental, and they can't kill each other in the Continental because of the rules. So you know, they sit down on a chair, and John Wick sits down, and the Mark Dacascos character comes and sits right next to him, and he's really serious, and then he goes, "I'm a big fan, by the way." You know, he turns it on. You know, he turns on the sarcastic version. You know, the sarcastic self, and you know, Quan Chi could be that type of person where he looks serious, but then he could still pull off that sarcastic type, but you know, he's still very dangerous. So you know, and I just want to see Mark Dacascos do the butterfly twist as well. You know, because if I didn't see Only the Strong, which is one of his first films that I ever saw him in, and he'd done that move at the very end, I wouldn't be trying to do it, and I still can't do it. I still can't do the butterfly twist, but I could do a butterfly kick. But, you know, seeing Mark Dacascos still do it now to this day, it's become one of them moves that I associate with him, and I think a lot of people do as well. So watching him do that move as Quan Chi to someone, doesn't matter who it is, it'd be a nice thing for me to see personally. What's that? I'll be seeing you around, John. No, you won't. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for the fourth one, by the way. Can't wait for the fourth one. It'd be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, so I could. Someone should take this photo now and turn it into Quan Chi. It'd be nice for someone to actually do that. But again, he's going to be my mainstay again. Mark Kast as Quan Chi. And if you didn't already know, I'm sure every Mortal Kombat fan already knows. But he's already been in the Mortal Kombat universe, in Mortal Kombat Legacy 2, and he played as Kung Lao, the older version of Kung Lao, which was, again, their version, a different version, a completely different version of Mortal Kombat, different take on the lore. And he played, the Quan Chi. And it's just too bad we didn't see him actually do any combat in this suit. We was all anticipating it, and they left it with on a cliffhanger with Quan Chi versus the corrupted Liu Kang. And they were ready. They were standing side by side, and they were, the camera zoomed in and it cut off. And we're like, damn, we want to see them fight off, but we never did. It never took off. Too bad. But so Quan Chi. Mark Dacascos is already a name in the Mortal Kombat universe, playing as Kung Lao. So why not have him play as Quan Chi, who I think could play is a better fit for the new movie. Because of his age and the way he looks more seasoned, more experienced, I should say. So it's not a young Quan Chi, because Quan Chi is obviously older. I'm not going to say wiser. It's not. He's probably in his own standards probably wise, but you get what I mean. He's already experienced. He's God knows how many years old, thousands, 100,000 or something like that. You never know. We don't really know where he's come from, which is it's very mysterious. So there we go. Mark Dacascos as Quan Chi. So let's move on to the next one. Here we go. How do you pronounce his name? Martin Sensomir? Martin Sensomir as Nightwolf. Right. So, again, we're looking for people who fit the role. And I've saw clips of a film that I've never seen, but I've seen trailers and I've seen clips lately. The remake of the Magnificent Seven. And Martin plays a character, the native Indian character called Red Harvest. Plays Red Harvest. And I instantly thought, that's Nightwolf. That's definitely Nightwolf. He looks the part. He can do some of his own stuff. And you'll see him in war paint in the Magnificent Seven. And you'll definitely say, yeah, that's Nightwolf. Just give him that bow and arrow. Just give him that axe. Stick him in a Mortal Kombat film. There you go. Even as he looks in the Magnificent Seven. You can stick him as he is in that film, in a Mortal Kombat film, and instantly you'd know it's Nightwolf. There you go. So you can't tell me that he definitely looks the part there. He's definitely got that style. And, if you're looking for authenticity of these characters, Martin is definitely that one. I've not really seen any of his other films, but when I saw the trailer to the Magnificent Seven, the remake, and some of the clips, and looking at some of his interviews. So I've gone through some of his interviews to see if he's got that, see if he can speak. Because, again, I don't know who he was. I didn't know if he could actually do it. I didn't know if he spoke in the film. So doing a bit of research and, perfect English. Seeing a few of these pictures and him with the long, he's got long, I don't know what he's like at the moment, but he's seen his long hair and keeps himself trim. And he's got a stone face, it's chiseled, demeaning. And he could definitely put it off. So this is going to be, again, another probably a mainstay. So you look at this photo and you think he could definitely pull off a Nightwolf. And he's definitely young enough to keep that character going. So again, another mainstay, Martin Sensomere, and there you go. There's your Nightwolf. He's going to be my main pick for Nightwolf. So it'd be interesting to see what you say about that. Let's move on to the next person. And there we go. Elizabeth Banks as Queen Sindel. So this is going to be another one of my main picks. I picked her many, many years ago. Again, because I was looking for someone that was feisty, that looked feisty. And what sealed it for me was the fact that she was in the Power Rangers as Rita. So even though I picked her before that, what sealed it for me was the fact that she did play a bitchy character in the Power Rangers, and I haven't moved on since. Even though I forgot her name, but I thought that she was going to play Sindel in the movie, but it ended up she was playing Natara instead. And people says, "Do you still think she's going to play Sindel?" I was like, "Yes, God damn it!" I just wouldn't let it happen, but yeah, I was wrong. It's only because I thought they actually picked someone to play as Natara, which they did until the actress that was playing Natara before had an injury, so they had to pull in someone else to take over the role, which is a shame. So, so Elizabeth Banks. So if they wanted to go down the route of like they did in Mortal Kombat 11, where they kind of like changed Sindel from being corrupt to being a gold digger, I reckon Elizabeth Banks could play that off pretty well. And plus, like, you got to have someone that's kind of, again, old, not old, but older. She's a mom, to Katana, and she still looks, pretty young for her age, but she can still play that one that, because she's, how old is Sindel? I mean, what, 30, 40, 50,000 years old? I don't know. But, she's got to be, she's got to play the mom type. And if they wanted to go down the route of, someone that's a gold digger or something, then, Elizabeth Banks could play it. So it'd be nice to see her play. It doesn't matter if it's a short, but it'd be nice to see her do her own stuff and kick ass again, or, later on down the road. So there we go. Elizabeth Banks. So there you go. She's there in purple again. So she could do it. I reckon she could do it. So it'd be interesting to see your take on your take on this, on my pick. Who else have I got? So who's next? Oh, so there you go. So yeah, she definitely looks feisty. She definitely looks the type that could pull off the Sindel role well. So the next one, Peter Mensah as King Jared. So I picked this guy because I'm using what they've done in the Mortal Kombat movie, where Melina is mixed race. And if they're going to go for the mixed race with Melina, and Melina is supposed to be a clone of Katana mixed in with Takatan DNA, then it's safe to say that the mother and father are, two different races. So to get that mixed race, you're going to have different parents of a different race. So Sindel, I want to be as Elizabeth Banks, and Peter Mensah could play the King Jerry role. So it's kind of helping fix a problem. It's not a problem, but for some it was. At first, it took me back as someone playing, someone of a mixed race playing Melina. But it's something that you can easily get over. It's not anything big because she played the role well. And I reckon, I want Cece to actually play as Kitana. I've seen her in recent photos where she was on carpets and everything else. And if you with the right makeup and the bling and everything else, she could definitely play Kitana. And I think someone come up one time that can tell me who it was on Twitter or whatever. That in the film, when you saw Liu Kang look at Melina and Melina looking at Liu Kang, it's like you could see something like Liu Kang's. Pardon me. Oh, gassy. Liu Kang was looking at Melina with kind of like a shocked look, like he's looking at someone that he's seen before, but not seeing who it's supposed to be. So he's looking at thinking, that's not Kitana. Do you see what I mean? So they can play off that. And it'd be nice to actually have the continuity there. I want some continuity. So have the mixed race Melina and the mixed race Kitana. And, I'd be happy with all of this. And Peter Mensah, I first saw him in a series called Spartacus, where he played kind of like a mentor to Spartacus, and I like that character. He stood out, he's shredded, chiseled features and the deep voice and everything else, commanding. He was a very interesting character, and I got behind him. And then later on, I saw a film. Being a fan of the Jason Voorhees genre, Jason X, which is the last in the series, and it was basically Jason in space. And Peter Mensah was in that, and he played a character called Brodsky. And he actually fought Jason Voorhees. Well, when I say fought, there was contact. And so there he is in Spartacus. So he could play the battle-hardened king, which is what I want to see. And I don't want to see a king that just rolls over. And, it's like you don't want to bring in a character and then have him killed off. You want to have someone, make him recognisable or give him a bit of weight. And with Peter Mensah, he's got a presence. And, it's like he didn't last long in 300, but you recognise him. It's like you know that character now. Every time you see Peter Mensah, you think of the guy. This is madness. Says you hear this is madness. His face is in your mind. You know it's him. But he come into contact with Jason Voorhees in Jason X, and again he played a bit of a commanding character, and Jason Voorhees grabbed him from behind a sheet of metal or something, and he basically shoved something through his body, and he says, it's going to take more than a poke in the ribs to put down this old dog. And then also another thing comes through and goes, yeah, that'll do it. But then later on, he comes back to help out the rest of the crew. And, he helps fight back Jason some more. So, he's one of them guys that he's got a presence on screen. And if you're going to have Sindel turn her back on the king and, be this gold digger, give the character a bit of weight. Have her kill someone as big as Peter Mensah is. He's got a bit of a presence, and you want to feel the weight of him being killed off. You don't have some nobody. I'm not, because you don't know who's going to play him. So you don't want some nobody playing a character just to get killed off. So add a bit of weight to the character. So when eventually he does get killed, either by Sindel or Shao Kahn, you know, you're going to feel for the character. You're going to feel for, you know, the guy playing and go, oh, nah. You know, you fought well, especially if he's going to fight against Shao Kahn. Now, that would be a good thing. So if you fight against Shao Kahn and he's holding his own, you know, you want King Jared to be the battle-hardened type. He's got some skills, you know, and he fights against Shao Kahn. He's holding his own. And you could have Sindel poke him in the back. And that's what takes him down. So pokes him in the back. It's a distraction. He's like, why? And then Shao Kahn gives the final blow. And then Shao Kahn takes Sindel as his wife because she turned his back on him. So have a mix of both. I would like that. Have a mix of both. He fights Shao Kahn, tries to fight off the invasion. Sindel, seeing that, you know, Shao Kahn's a bigger threat, and she wants to, you know, not be killed. So she's going to flip, and she's going to turn on the king. So there we go. Peter Mensah as King Jared. Next one. Quite a few people like this one. If they were going to have someone to come in now and again, you know, you could have, as she's well known as, Sasha Banks from WWE, Mercedes Bernardo as Tanya. So if you don't want this to be a mainstay, you could have her be the play the Natara kind of role, where she's in there for just a few minutes, if you want to go that route. But, you know, give her a bit more of an extended role, you know. But, yeah, give her this role. She's definitely got the skills. She's definitely got a presence on screen because, you know, Sasha Banks, she's got her own fan base being in WWE. My idea for Tanya was give her a different fighting style. We've got loads of martial arts in this, in the Mortal Kombat world. So when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, I don't think she's going to hold her own against someone who knows kicking and punching. So I thought, why not give her a bit more of a threat and use grappling skills? Now, when you say grappling, it's like, Dave, come on. You know, she's going to go up against a 150-pound guy. You know, how's she going to grapple that guy? Now, when it comes to wrestling skills, you know, manipulation of your limbs. You know, when it comes to pro wrestling, it looks nice on screen, doesn't it? So some of it can be done practically. So when it comes to someone who knows wrestling skills, Tanya, again, she's going to be, you know, thousands of years old. She's going to perfect her skills, you know, to combat bigger beings, to throw them off. So if she can't match them strike for strike, she's going to use their own weight against them, like a judo or jiu-jitsu. Why not use grappling, joint manipulation, things that throw off the balance of their opponent, which makes her more dangerous. So you're not going to have to, she's going to dodge, she's going to flip around you, hurricanranas, things like that. Arm drags, knee locks, arm bars, things like that, to give her a bit more of a different take on someone that does strikes. So someone's going to come in with a punch, and she's going to duck under, and then she's going to hyperextend your elbow, something like that. You know, she's going to counter. So I see her as give us something different. Give the character something different, something that's going to stand out from the rest of the characters. So instead of just kicking and punching, I want to see some flips and hurricanradoonies. I want to see some of things like that. Again, elevate the character. Tanya is not one that seems, you know, high tier. Again, she's going to be in that very low tier. But if you want to bring in characters and make them stand out, even if it's for that one film, but you want them to go, that was the character was well done. Oh, my phone going off. I can't answer that. Sorry. Yeah, you want to elevate the character. You want that character to stand out. So give a character like Tanya a bit of time to shine, as this person has just said. Tanya does deserve a fighting role in the movie. There, I said it. Yeah, she does. It's like as the last movie shown, you can bring in characters that have been, that are more new, and bring them into the past. In terms of the storyline, make them stand out more, and instead of just a few kicks and punches, do a few flips, do a few tricks of joint manipulation, add a bit of sass to the character. Not as much sass as, say, a Melina, but more of a not sass, but more of a cheek. Well, she's really cheeky, and she'll throw insults. She'll throw insults at you and make you feel small. And I think Mercedes could do that. With the what do they call it? What do they call it in wrestling? When they back chat you and the bad mouth you. I forgot what it escapes me. The term. There's a term in wrestling. It'll probably pop in my mind at some point. But trash talk. Basically, during the fight, they trash talk and make you feel really small. And I can see Mercedes doing that. And again, you want to make that character stand out, even if it's just for a few minutes. Again, make her an assassin, someone that's there, but to be offed, if you want to do that, or make her a wounded dog. So you wound her, give her a broken leg or something, and she just goes off, and you've got her ready for future films. So you don't want to kill everyone off. So you could wound her and then send her packing or something like that. Things like that. So yeah, and again, she's got a presence. And again, yeah, her latest role is in the Mandalorian, and she's one of the Mandos. So she's definitely got some acting behind her. It's not as if she's got acting behind her in wrestling, because she does play the feisty role well, and the trash talk well. The bad girl type of talk. So I'd like Tanya to be that type of character. That's how I see the character. And Mercedes could play that character. So there we go. Mercedes Venado as Tanya. Who have I got next? Right, here we go. Most of you might not know this guy, but he has been in a few films. And they might not be massive, but again, he's got that presence about him, as you can see. So if they were to bring Tremor into the universe, I would want Silvio Simac to be there. Silvio Simac. Now, was it Transporter 2 or 3? And was he in? Can't remember. But he's been in the fight scenes with... name escapes me again. Oh, my gosh. Jason Statham. And he's been in fight scenes with... Scott Adkins in Undisputed 2. It was the first fight in Undisputed 2. Played a character called Davik. And as you can see, he's a big dude. He's very muscular. But he's definitely got the skills. He can definitely fight. He's got fighting skills. Very, very expressive and powerful. And he played a character... called Leon in Dead or Alive, the Dead or Alive film. So he was a big dude in that as well. So he's definitely got the acting chops. He plays the big henchman type well, and he'll definitely stand out. Again, he's big. He's got the chiseled looks. He's got that look in his eyes. So all he would need is just a few prosthetics, and he could play that character well, even if it's just as a henchman. And again, there he is. He played Leon in Dead or Alive, and yeah. If you've ever looked him up, he can do all the splits, he can do the kicks. He's definitely got the size, and I would want Tremor. Now, if they're going to bring back Cole Young, Tremor would be the guy I'd want to face up against and have a hard time. I'd want them both to face off, because with the Cole Young character, if they're going to do any sort of evolution with him, his whole body's going to be covered in this this metal or metallic type of thing. It's an organic metal, so it moves around him, and no one can seem to penetrate it. It's quite hard, quite solid. So how can you combat someone that could be classed as overpowered? And I thought, well, you're going to need someone that could withstand Cole, as well as give Cole a hard time and penetrate that armor. So I thought, okay, you could definitely have someone like a Tremor, which has hard skin, hard rock skin. And Tremor can heat up that rock as well. And it's solid. It's hard to penetrate, just like Cole Young's armor. It's hard to penetrate, but he also can manipulate it to form whatever he wants. And I thought it'd be a good contrast to a Cole Young. So to have Tremor face off against Cole Young, it'd be a good match for Cole Young to try and overcome, as well as have Tremor again be elevated, taking on someone that could be overpowering, could be OP, and definitely give Cole Young a run for his money. Probably weaken him to the point where Cole Young is now vulnerable. And the only person I could see do anything like that in a combat scenario would be a Tremor. And instead of just having another big CGI character, all you need is a big dude that can do his own stunts. He can act. Add prosthetics, add a few bits and bobs, add the suit, and you've got a ready-made guy in Silvio Simac. So there we go. If they're going to have Tremor in any sort of capacity, I would have Silvio Simac. So let's see on the next person. Oh, there you go. Silvio Simac also played small role in the live action adaptation of Street Fighter Resurrection. So you got Street Fighter 5. They did a live action interpretation called Resurrection, and he played Bison. So he's, he can play these big type roles if he wants to, if they want him. But yeah, Silvio Simac as Tremor. So this guy, this character, right? If they're going to go for a tournament look, or in the second or third, it doesn't matter which. I'll get into it later on. I'll come up with a character called the Guard Leader. So he's more of a general. So we saw these guys in the first ever Mortal Kombat game. They're in the background, and they have these masks on, and they're the guards of Shang Tsung and of the tournament. So why not have their own character? Because they're going to want to make their own characters, right? So if they can't do one original, elevate someone that's in the background but was always there. So have a general of the guards, but make him his own character. So I was thinking of having someone that's, again, looks very seasoned, can do their own things, very, tough fighter, no nonsense fighter, and have him as the guard leader for Shang Tsung on the island in the tournament. And I wanted this guy, Kung Lee. I've seen him in so many films now, and I'm thinking it's very aggressive but controlled. So you think of wild, but it's more of a controlled wildness. He will swing, but he knows what he's doing. And I wanted Kung Lee to be this character. I thought it wouldn't be wicked to be just behind Shang Tsung, and Shang Tsung could call on his general. So instead of having Baraka, you can save Baraka and have a guard leader, someone that's, you know, commands all of his guards, and instead of having Shang Tsung kill everyone, you know, say Shang Tsung is displeased with someone and he could just take his soul. You want to elevate someone else, so he could pass on delegation to a general, and then he could delegate to his you know, soldiers, his guards. So so you can have like a person like a general of the guards, and then have him play a bigger role later on in the film. So he could possibly be thrusted forward to protect Shang Tsung, or allow himself to be a sacrifice to protect Shang Tsung and fight in the you know, put himself forward to put into the tournament. You know, you could place him in there. So again, it's elevating someone, elevating a character that's in the background. You know, not very prevalent, but you know, it could definitely make that character stand out. And you know, it's something that they could play off in the film, if you know what I mean. So instead of just having the guard in the background, they're walking back. You know that, you know, these guards are not, you know, they're there to be feared, especially like a general. So you've got to elevate the characters, and I think that Kung Lee, being a general of the guards, would elevate the guards as a whole, not just himself, but as a whole. So also Kung Lee, you know, being a legitimate UFC fighter, you know, he's got that oomph behind him anyway. And he was also in Into the Badlands, the series, and he played, I forgot what they're called, but they have a power. And again, this sealed it for me, the fact that Kung Lee was playing these like a monk, and it was more like a protector for the main person that was, I forgot what they're called in the series, but it was more like a protector. And it's like, yeah, I could definitely see him play the general of the guards for Shang Tsung. And again, he's not new to playing characters in games. He also played martial law in the Tekken film. He wasn't in it very long, but again, he's got that aggressive style. So he's not new to playing video game characters. So again, elevating characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise, if you're going to use them here and there. So there you go. Kung Lee as the guard leader, the general. So there we go. Let's go on to the next thing when it comes to how the next film. What are they going to do? What's the plan? What's the plan? Is it going to be the tournament? Now, straight away, people would do like I wouldn't say knee-jerk reaction, more of a quick judgment that if the first film wasn't the tournament, it's going to lead into the tournament. My initial thought was, yeah, they're going to do the tournament next. But wait. If they wanted to go the Marvel route and build up to a big event, why not go with the trilogy and have the third film be the Infinity War of the Mortal Kombat universe? So they build up again to the tournament. So I'm gonna talk about it. So in the end, spoilers, you know the film by now. At the end of the Mortal Kombat film, Shang Tsung is said. Shang Tsung's known to say, "The next time I see you, I will not bring fighters. I will bring armies." And Raiden zaps him back to Outworld. Now, people think, as I thought, is he going to bring armies to the tournament? Because we instantly thought the next film was going to be the tournament. Now, if you think back to just before the middle of the film, when Shang Tsung first appears in Raiden's temple, he says to Raiden, what was it? The Elder Gods have grown lazy, and well, they're too lazy to stop him. So it's safe to assume that Shang Tsung has been breaking the rules for so many years that he thinks that the Elder Gods are lazy. They're not going to stop him, so he's going to carry on doing what he's doing. And because he doesn't want to waste resources, so he'll just bring his best fighters to take out the chosen, the ones that have the marking. I'm not going to say they're chosen. I'm going to say the ones that have the marking, because they're not chosen. They have a marking, but they're not chosen. So he's just stuck to the same plan. But now, his plan hasn't worked. His fighters have been defeated. That's when he says, at the end of the film, next time I won't bring fighters, I will bring armies. Now, when it comes to the tournament, I don't think Shang Tsung's going to bring an army to the tournament. There's still going to be rules in place. Now, is it that the Elder Gods are lazy when it comes to the lead up or in between the tournament, but when it comes to the tournament itself, the Elder Gods wake up and they go, "Oh, tournament, right, now all the rules are there for us to enforce." Which is why Shang Tsung manipulates, bends, breaks the rules. So when it gets to the tournament itself, Shang Tsung can't break the rules because the Elder Gods are watching this time. That could be one thing. That could be one way of looking at it. So I think that the next movie should not be the tournament. I think it should still play on Shang Tsung breaking or bending the rules to breaking point and actually bringing armies. So have it be near enough a follow-up, say weeks, months after the first film, after the events of the first film. And Shang Tsung has been building up his armies. He thinks, I can't let this get to the tournament. The Elder Gods still haven't done anything. I'm just going to go all out now. So he's gotten to the point now where he's cocky enough to literally bring over armies. If he can bring people from Outworld to attack Raiden and his fighters in Raiden's temple, how brazen he is, then he's going to push that next step further and actually bring armies. Or his guards. It could be Tarkatans, which I'd save again. He could actually bring his general with him. The Kung Lee general guard leader. And a few of his guards and his, little army to take on or take out, again, Earthbound warriors before the tournament. So you could say that the next film could be a recruitment movie. So Raiden and the rest of the crew are trying to recruit fighters, and they're trying to find fighters before Shang Tsung can get to them. But along the way, they're coming against armies of Shang Tsung every now and again. And the movie could be on, a cliffhanger where I would have Raiden actually fight. Now, how would you have him fight? because isn't that against the rules? And, wouldn't the Elder Gods step in then? Yes, they probably would, because Raiden is physically getting involved. Where now before, Shang Tsung, taking the life of Kung Lao, you could say that's getting involved again. But again, did the Elder Gods do anything? No. So did that prompt Raiden to push himself, see how much he could bend the rules, which is why he took the fighters to the void and then teleported people elsewhere, testing the Elder Gods again, seeing how far he can get away with. Which is the way I interpret the original film. So have Shang Tsung challenge Raiden. You could have Shang Tsung take souls, be amped up on soul power, and challenge Raiden, thinking that, if he takes Raiden out, then there's nothing to stop him. Raiden's the one in the way. And you're going to have to try and weaken Raiden because lightning, teleport, so they're going to have to try and do something to Raiden in the film to weaken him to the point where he can't use his powers. Maybe lure Raiden into Outworld where he doesn't have that much power. Could be doing that. So Shang Tsung challenges Raiden. Not to Mortal Kombat, but to a battle. And my idea was to, because we want Liu Kang to have this hero's journey. So what's the point of having Shang Tsung, be weak? You want Liu Kang to have this hero's journey and show off that the threat before Liu Kang is near enough unbeatable. How can Liu Kang defeat Shang Tsung? So the idea is to have Shang Tsung in this film, the recruitment film, be that much of a badass that you think, how's Liu Kang going to fight this? And you're going to have Shang Tsung almost defeat Raiden. Now, again, you don't want Raiden to be be so OP that what is the point of him recruiting Mortal Kombat, recruiting people for Mortal Kombat to fight on his behalf to save Earthrealm when he could just do it himself? If he wants to get involved, he could just relinquish his powers, become mortal, and do it himself. He's still got thunder powers, but he's mortal. So you don't want to go down that route. You still want them to be Earthrealm warriors. So you're going to have to lure Raiden into Outworld somehow, nerf his powers, then have Shang Tsung fight Raiden and say, if you beat me, we're done. But if I beat you, there's no one to protect Earthrealm. So what do you say? I either kill you all now or you fight me now, Raiden. Something like that. So, yeah, Raiden is nerfed by being in Outworld. And we now see Raiden fight. Using his skills. But Shang Tsung, the idea is have Shang Tsung regenerate himself, be so full of power because of sucking souls from whoever that he feels he could take Raiden on. And the way I see it is Shang Tsung is fighting Raiden and Raiden keeps getting the better of Shang Tsung, right? But then say there's a bit in the fight where you see Shang Tsung is like nearly beaten, but he does his skull move and blows Raiden away. And because Shang Tsung's so out of energy, he needs energy. So he looks to, he has them female followers, right? He has them as like a power bank. He uses them as a power bank. So he charges himself up. So he quickly takes the soul of another one of his followers and he's regenerated again. And then he's ready to fight Raiden again. So there's a weakness, but he's overpowering himself to fight Raiden. Again, he's full of energy and he's overpowering Raiden. Raiden gets a few more shots, weakens Shang Tsung, and again, he does it again. He uses his people. That's how he keeps on top of his energies. That's how he. It's what can you say? As his opponent is losing energy, he keeps replenishing his. That's why he keeps winning. And it's a weakness, but again, if he's overpowering, how can someone that's losing their energy fight someone that keeps replenishing their energy? So he's a threat. And this is what I want for Shang Tsung in the next film. I want him to be a threat to Liu Kang. You want Liu Kang to have this hero's journey? You want him to face a threat? This is how I would do it. Have Shang Tsung be that threat. So there we go. When it comes, and you could have Shang Tsung beat Raiden as he's about to take Raiden's soul, right? Now, don't forget, this is not a challenge in Mortal Kombat. This is a battle outside of the rules, outside of Mortal Kombat. But soon as Raiden tries to take, Shang Tsung tries to take Raiden's soul, the Elder Gods step in. Why would they step in now? Because it's a potential death of a Earthrealm defender, not a defender, like someone that the Elder Gods protect. The Elder Gods protect Raiden. If Raiden's fighting, it's just a normal fight. But if there's death involved and Raiden's going to die, then the Elder Gods step in because Raiden is under the protection of the Elder Gods. This is where I think that the Elder Gods would then go, right, Shang Tsung, we've allowed you to go as far as this. We've given you enough rope to hang yourself, right? So, you've woke us up now and you've tried to take someone that was that we was protecting. Now, the Elder Gods weren't protecting the champions, the ones with the mark. The Elder Gods weren't protecting them. They're protecting Raiden. Raiden is the one that has to assemble the fighters. But Raiden is ultimately the one that's protected by the Elder Gods. When the threat of death upon Raiden is imminent, the Elder Gods step in. This is what would split them up, wake up the Elder Gods that they do need to enforce the rules, smack Shang Tsung on the back of the wrist and say, right, we're now going to be watching you. You cannot do anything till the tournament. And again, you could have Shang Tsung look at Raiden, a beaten Raiden, and say, you were this close. This close. And you have Shang Tsung have that smirk look at Raiden while he's on the floor, beaten, bloodied, and say, next time your world is mine. Yeah. Done. Next time your world is mine. Come the tournament, your world is mine. Things like that. So then you can have him look at Liu Kang and Liu Kang look at him and Liu Kang be shit scared but ready. So there we go. That's how I'd see that. Then it leads to the Infinity War of the Mortal Kombat franchise. The trilogy. Have the trilogy. Have the third film then be the tournament. Kintoro thoughts. I don't know for this film. maybe saving for the like a cameo in the third, because I've got an idea to start a new trilogy, which would lead into the Outworld tournament. But again, I have an idea for the tournament itself, how I would play off the tournament, which I'll probably do for another stream. But as for the next film, I would have it be a recruitment, and again, if Shang Tsung wins, Earthrealm is gone. It's literally gone. Which is why instead of calling it Mortal Kombat 2, because it hasn't even got to the tournament yet, so you can't call it Mortal Kombat 2. So everything seems to everything seems to have a subtitle. So keeping in line with all these the games, as well as the anime movies, they've got you got the new anime film. It has a subtitle. So I thought I'd come up with my own, and I called it Fate of the Realm, which it kind of is. It's two Outworlds come back now with armies. So now Earthrealm has to come with armies to battle against it before the tournament. Get all the main players involved, ready for the Infinity War version of Mortal Kombat. So there we go. What's this? I want to see that confrontation take place in the Living Forest. Who's that between Shang Tsung and Raiden? I don't know. That would have to be in like an Outworld setting, obviously. So yeah, you want to again elevate characters, show Shang Tsung to be someone that's almost unbeatable. So when the next film comes, when the third film comes, and he comes to the tournament, you know what Shang Tsung is capable of, and he's Liu Kang's got a vendetta now because he's taken the soul of Kung Lao. So you want to build that up as well. You want to build up that hatred for Shang Tsung, that I want to get my revenge on him. It's like, I've got to do it, and doing it in the tournament would be sweet. It's nice taste for Liu Kang, and to free the soul of Kung Lao, of his cousin Kung Lao. So this is how I would do it. So I want it to be a trilogy, with the third film actually being the tournament. But also, I'd want whoever's, the producers and everything else, they're going to have to come out early to say that we want this to be a trilogy. The third film will be the tournament, and the second film is showcasing new characters, and we want to show the hero's journey of Liu Kang, and you want to build up Shang Tsung for Liu Kang to, face up against. We didn't see any skills from Shang Tsung in the first film for us to think he's a good fighter. Because otherwise, all we're going to see is Shang Tsung go, give me a soul. Round one, fight, give me a soul. We don't want that. We want to see what Shang Tsung is capable of when it comes to physical combat, as well as showcasing his supernatural abilities. So what better way to make Shang Tsung look so badass than have him almost beat Raiden? Someone that Liu Kang looks up to as a mentor, as a god, someone that he always prays in front of him. He does the bells, he addresses him in a way that he's I can't compare to Raiden. Raiden's above me. And to see Raiden, for Liu Kang to see Raiden get beat, it's got to be a shock to the system. It's got to be. So Liu Kang's like, oh my God, I thought he was a god. with all these skills, even being mortal. I've just seen my mentor getting beat by Shang Tsung, someone I could potentially fight in the tournament. Holy crap. And he's got that, but he also wants that revenge for killing his cousin. Well, taking the soul. Because if you've ever seen my other streams, I've got a take on taking the soul of someone that's living. They're not dead when he took the soul. They're still alive. So my take on Shang Tsung taking the soul from someone that's living is that the body is now a zombie, but without a soul. So my take was there's a time limit. Liu Kang's got to release the soul of Kung Lao before the body and the soul link is gone. There's still a link there because the body's dying. Without soul, the body's dying. If the body dies, the link is severed. So there's more of like a time limit now for Liu Kang to kill Shang Tsung, so the soul can be released and be returned back into Kung Lao's body, and then Kung Lao can return in the new trilogy. That's my take. That would be my new take on Shang Tsung taking souls from the living rather than someone's been defeated and dead. There we go. So you want Liu Kang to. He knows he has to fight Shang Tsung. He knows he wants that revenge, but he also knows that Shang Tsung is too much. Shang Tsung has proved himself to be too much, even for Raiden. So there we go. That would be my take on the plan for the new movies. Have the sequel be a recruitment and showcasing more fighters, showcasing Raiden fighting and Shang Tsung being a badass, leading up to the big tournament, the big final tournaments for Earthrealm. That's how I'd do it. So there we go. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think. So if anyone has any questions, I know there's not many people here, but again, I'm grateful for the people that have come in. I'm hoping that you've got your own ideas and you can message me and share your thoughts. I know people had other ideas. I did have people talk to me on Twitter and give me their ideas, but I like to express mine through stream, as people know. So I thought, okay, I'll share my fan cast, see what people think about that, as well as my take on the plans for the movies going forward. So I'm going to say thank you for everyone that's come in. If I can come up with a new topic, or if there's a new topic that needs discussing, and I feel like, yeah, I'll do a new stream on it, I'll do it. Because it seems to have dried up at the minute, the topics. So there we go. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to say your view is mine. Bye everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye bye.